Okay, so today we are going to be talking about standard deviation, which is looking at what the average distance each of the numbers in a data set are from the mean of that data set. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is to take our data set, so here in a math class the following test scores were earned, and to calculate the standard deviation. So first we want to put all of them into this chart, and the order doesn't really matter, so I just like to do it in the order that they're given. So 22, 99, 102, 33, 57, 75, 100, 81, 62, and 29. Add all of those up. And when you do that, you get 660, so we're going to put that where it says sum. So to find the mean, we do the sum divided by how many there are. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Divide that by 10, and we get our mean is 66. The next part we do is we take each number, so 22, subtract the mean from it. That gives us negative 44. And then you square the answer, which gives us 1,936. Now we're going to do 99 minus 66, gives us 33. When we square that, we get 1,089. 102 minus 66 gives us 36. Square it, you get 1296. 33 minus 66 is negative 33. Square it, 1089. Notice here we've got some positive and negative numbers, but here they're all positive. When you do this, you need to make sure that's the case, that the difference from mean can be negative, but every time we square it, we're going to get a positive number. 57 minus 66 is negative 9. Square that, we get 81. 35 minus 66 is 9. Gives us another 81. 100 minus 66 is 34. When we square that, we get 1,156. 81 minus 66 gives us 15. Square that, and we get 225. 62 minus 66 is negative 4. Square that, we get 16. And 29 minus 66 is negative 37. When we square that, we get 1,369. So that's how we fill in these next two columns. Next, we want to find the sum of our squared differences. So we're going to add all those together. So 1936 plus 1089 plus 1296 plus 1089 plus 81 plus 81 plus 1156 plus 225 plus 16 plus 1369, and that gives us 8,338. Okay. Next, we want to find the variance, which is another way of saying the mean of our square differences. So we just call that the variance. So we divide that by 10, and we get 833.8. And then lastly, to figure out the standard deviation, we square root the variance. So we just take the square root of 833.8, and that gives us a standard deviation of 28.87. Okay, so it's a lot of work to get to this number, but this tells us how close most numbers are to our mean of 66. Okay, so our standard deviation was 28.87. This wants to know the average range. So to find the average range, it's our mean plus or minus the 28.87. So when I do 66 minus 28.87, that gives me 37.13. And 66 plus 28.87, that gives me 94.87. So this means that most test scores were somewhere between 37 points and 95 points. Okay, so would a score of 40 be considered much lower than expected, about expected, or much higher than expected? So scores that are much lower than expected would be lower than 37. About expected would be any number between 37 and 95. and much higher than expected would be numbers above 95. Because 40 is in this average range, we would say that this is about expected. And that is how you calculate and analyze standard deviation.